Oh, hello, my wonderful, beautiful broskies of the world. Wonderful, beautiful broskies of the wonderful, beautiful Maverick Nation. I'm the Dark Shadow Maverick, the one, the only Dark Shadow Maverick. And this is part 2 of What If Izuku slash What If Naruto were Broly. But not any Broly, not the current Broly we have now. No. I'm talking Z Broly. Yes. The bad mother effer of the entire series. Basically, you could say that. And, well, like I said in the previous video about this topic, like, the odd numbered parts would be Izuku's story, and the even numbered parts would be Naruto's story, as they both have the Broly powers. But it's Z Broly, not Super Broly. We gotta differentiate that shit. Because we don't need anyone mistaking this shit. Like, we don't need to get any sort of confusion in here that could result in some really heinous, like, result into some really freaking flippin' heinous ass flame wars all across the comment section, which I really don't want that, and I really don't want that on my channel. So, good news though, I just got WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2008, which is actually a good thing because whenever I get up my TV and my 360 and any, controllers I have, set up, I might actually, I call it a ultimate general manager mode. Basically, I would be all three brands, and basically in being all three brands, I'd be making all the choices, and due to my choices, whichever of my choices makes the better show will decide which show wins. And seeing as it's featuring ECW, I'm going to have some fun. The thing about 2006 I like is that it has Chris Jericho, it has Christian, and it has, I forget the third one. What was the third one? I know Scotty 2 Hotty is in it. Basically, a lot of cool wrestlers are in both 2006 and 2008. So, doing general manager modes of those, like I say, not just any general manager modes, but ultimate general manager modes. Because even for 2006, hey, that's one less controller I have to use for the thing. And plus, I already have like everything planned out, like considering the roster for each game. 2006, 2007, and 2008. And if the Ultimate General Manager thing gets popular, like at all, I might actually try to somehow, in some way, go even further beyond. See how that works out. Hmm. But enough with that. That's just me telling you guys a little bit about something you guys can expect in the future. So, enough with that. Now, what the hell was I doing? Oh, yes, Broly. How the hell are we going to do Z Broly's thing with Naruto? I mean, I explained how I did it with Izuku, but how are we going to do it with Naruto? Let's just say that the power of the legendary Super Saiyan, like, basically this is while Minato is, like, sealing the Nine Tails, and he has to seal, like, only one half, and seal the other and himself to die. And, like, the claw goes through, and Kushina and him both get the claw. That sounded so wrong. Oh, whatever. Basically, they're on their deathbeds, and, Hiruzen asks what the baby's name is. Minato and Kushina's child, what the child's name is. And Kushina, right before she dies, she says Naruto. But Minato actually, overexerts himself, and he says a few last words to Hiruzen, about, he sensed a power, sort of a power struggle deep inside Naruto. Like there was already something inside of him, and putting the half of the nine-tailed fox in there, now the half of the nine-tailed fox and whatever else was in there before, he is he could sense the power struggle while he was sealing that half of the nine tails going on. Like, just as soon as the nine tails gets in, he's having to deal with whatever the hell this is that he's having to fight in order, whoever has power over the kid. Like, Minato said he could, sense a power struggle. And so he's going to have to basically become the clan head of his, and Kushina's clan, you know. He's going to have to become a clan head of the Namikaze Uzumaki, basically the Namikaze Uzumaki clan. He's going to become a clan head of that. And seeing as Sasuke is the only bloody Uchiha in the Leaf Village, he's automatically forced to become the clan head of the Uchiha clan. And so, early on in Naruto's childhood, basically, they don't make them clan heads yet, but they do make them aware, Hiruzen basically is having Naruto stay at his place, and, he informs him about the whole clan head business, and how, that's basically his destiny has been set for him to become, a clan head of the Namikaze Uzumaki clan. Because because of something that happened before, his parents' deaths. Like, Naruto does find it weird that Hiruzen never tells him what this weird thing is or was that happened that decided that he would have to be a clan head. But, yeah, destiny is destiny, fate is fate, I guess. And so, seeing as they're both, like, child, whatever, that are destined to become clan heads, well, Naruto and Sasuke, and even, like, Hinata is destined to become a clan head. However, she kinda sucks. Not gonna lie, she kinda sucks. So, Neji basically takes on the role of filling in for where Lady Hinata lacks. Where Lady Hinata lacks is where Neji will do his best to fill in. And he better, because if he doesn't, he's gonna get the curse seal on him. Well, he already has it on him, but, he's gonna get afflicted with, like, the pain from the cursed cage bird seal. And so, well, Neji may not be directly like the clan head of the Hyuga. In fact, he is a member of the branch family. He is more skilled than their actual clan head. And so, he's basically made the protection the number 2. So, yeah, basically the Hyuga felt that, Lady Hinata, we can just find a replacement for her later, but for now, we kind of have to keep her. So, we at least need someone to pick up her slack, her suckness. And they would decide that person would be Neji. And so Neji's life is just a living hell. Sasuke, after, the whole clan murder thing, it's a living hell. And Naruto's life ever since, he actually went out into the village and got his own apartment, has been a living hell. So 3 people that lives are like living hell from very early age. And they're all, like part of a clan. Because even though Neji isn't exactly a clan head, the clan head of the Hyuga, he is the prodigy of the branch family. Like, it's kind of like the next best thing. It's so, like, being the prodigy of the branch family, you're basically the best of the garbage. You're still garbage, but you're the best of the garbage. In the eyes of the, like, main branch Hyugas. Well, the elders of the main branch. Except for Hiyashi, whatever the frick his name was, Hinata's father, Hinata and Hanabi's father. Except for him, he doesn't think the way the rest of them do. But he has to keep his cool because of shit. And, well, basically, instead of how, like, there was that one scene in the anime where Naruto remembers seeing Sasuke and Sasuke remembers seeing Naruto, way back when, like, whenever they were kids, and they were both really sad, but they decided to look away from each other rather than decide to comfort each other. Or even, like, ask what was wrong. Or, like, even bother to ask if there was something wrong. Like, because, you don't make those faces if there's not something going on. Come on. It's, like, basic common sense. And so, in this, basically, with all of, the, thing with Hiruzen, the stuff that, and, well, all the shit Naruto is constantly getting from all the villagers, except for Tayuchi, his daughter, Hiruzen, and, well, Iruka Sensei is pleasant to be around, I guess, is what Naruto would be thinking. Not many people are all that pleasant to be around. And besides, Naruto doesn't even know all that much about the Uchiha clan. So, in a way, like he has heard so many positive things about the Uchiha clan, like sans the Uchiha clan massacre. Like sans that. Besides that, he's heard a lot of positives about the Uchihas, like how badass they're supposed to be. And like this guy is supposed to be like the last of the Uchihas. And so Naruto he actually gets excited a little, see what's going on. Like, besides, like Sakura and Ino aren't around, so they can't get mad at him and start a hissy fit and kick his ass for, being around Sasuke. Well, they're not around Sasuke. Because no doubt Naruto believes in his mind that if they saw him around Sasuke, whenever they're not around him, yeah, they would definitely go into rage mode. So Naruto would just slowly inch over to Sasuke because it definitely looked from the expression on Sasuke's face that Naruto's actually been able to read facial expressions a lot better than his canon counterpart. Because of all of Hiruzen's influence. So, because of that, he can read facial expressions a lot better and be able to tell what's going on a lot easier. And actually, he'd actually, be willing to take the time to do this. Because, he would have been intrigued by, the whole thing with Sasuke. Being the last Uchiha and hearing so many positive things about the Uchiha, the only real negative thing being heard, except for the comments about Uchihas being stuck up and all the talk about people saying that these are people just the snobby type. Aside from that, the only other negative is the Uchiha clan massacre, but Naruto doesn't know much. And that's when Naruto would, because he can tell from Sasuke's facial expression that he's not gonna really be the one willing to, he's not going to be the one who's willing to, do it. He's not gonna be the one willing to actually go over there and talk to the other person. Even though Sasuke in this, he's really, really just broken after what happened with his clan and Itachi. Dude was his big brother. He idolized him. And he just up and murders his entire clan. That's just sad. And Naruto actually, after getting, his ass kicked around several times by Sasuke, just saying that he wants Naruto to leave him the hell alone. And, well, Naruto is just he literally verbally refuses Sasuke's orders to leave him alone. And Sasuke's like, why? Why do you care? Why do you act like you care? And this kind of stops Naruto for a few seconds. Like, act like I care? And then this confuses Sasuke. He's like, what? He actually does care? No. No. I won't be deceived again. Get the hell away from me! And he just starts throwing kunai. And Naruto is just flip jumps in the air and lands straight in front of Sasuke's face. And he's just like, dude, it's okay. You're not the only one. Trust me. You're not the only one. And Sasuke's like, how would you know anything? And then Naruto's like, look more closely at the design of the kunai that I'm using. And Sasuke just realized that he has a kunai to his neck, but it doesn't look like a normal kunai. It looks like the kunai that the fourth would have used in the, Third Great Shinobi World War. To use the technique, the Flying Raijin, level 1 and level 2. And Sasuke sees this and he's like, how? How? This has to be some fake. And Naruto's like, maybe I'll be able to explain to you better if we weren't here. I see pink hair and ponytail, hightailing it straight towards the both of us. One, to kick my ass for being around you whenever they weren't, and two, to go goo goo gaga googly eyes all over your ass. Now, I'm pretty sure you don't want that. And Sasuke's like, if you can. Basically, Sasuke's like, if you can, and if you're willing to, then show me. Show me your power. And Naruto's like, oh well then, let's go. Flying Raijin, level 1. And then, all of a sudden, Naruto would just tap Sasuke on the shoulder before a yellow flash would envelop the both of them. And then, when the yellow flash died down, they would see the both of them again. But Sasuke would kind of be weirded out. Like, am I seeing things right? Where the hell are we? And Naruto's like, oh, we're at the Memorial Stone. And Sasuke looks behind him and he's like, oh, shit. We are at the Memorial Stone. And Naruto's like, this place, only people that ever come around here, well, I like to train here sometimes. And, well, I often see this guy, who, I believe his name was Kakashi Hatake. He comes around here a lot, actually. Sasuke's like, you come here often? And Naruto's like, yeah, haven't you realized? And he just points in a bunch of different random directions. And Sasuke just sees like a shit ton of markers for the Flying Raijin Jutsu. And Sasuke is just like, you must be a... And Naruto just stops him right there and he's just like, master at the technique. Well, by now, I guess you could say that. And Sasuke's like, you're being humble. How the hell do you have reason to be humble about something like the Flying Thunder God? And Naruto's just like, well, that's not exactly what we came here to do. Flaunt on about my ability to master the fourth Hokage's one of his jutsus. The other one that I've learned how to master, well, it was difficult, at times, but once I remembered how it was modeled off the tailed beast bomb, I remembered how They're supposed to be formed. Then it clicked. And now all of a sudden, I seem to be just as much of a master of the Rasengan as I am a master of the Flying Raijin. And about my Fuinjutsu skills, well, that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day if we want to be here in a reasonable enough time for you to get back, to your place before dark. and, like, Sasuke is just like, Fuinjutsu? And Naruto's like, and I do have some skills in Kenjutsu, but like I said, well, your house before dark, and preferably my house as well. Though I don't really think it matters. Those guys are still gonna go after me anyways, even if it's really almost completely impossible for them to actually see me. Guess I have my mastery over Fuinjutsu to thank for that. Protection seal on my own house to make it literally invisible to anyone who I don't want to see it. Also making the people inside of the said house invisible. And I've even been able to extend the seal to where it doesn't just go around my house, it'll go around my entire area of living, like the entire thing. But that's only if I want to extend the reach that far. Oddly enough, I'm really just doing my own kind of thing in the art of Kenjutsu. Sasuke is just, as Naruto is talking, he's just like, you know, mesmerized by Naruto's ability. And, like, Sasuke has so many damn questions. But Naruto's like, we need to iron some shit out here first. And then there's someone who does come around because, he barely gets any time off. And, it's nice to finally get out of the compound, enjoy, like, some nature. And this person seems to have just now stumbled upon the area where the memorial stone is. Like they weren't exactly planning on doing this on purpose. Like they were just sightseeing around the village while they could. And well, while Sasuke's flipping out over how awesome Naruto seems to be, he accidentally bumps into this person and they fall on the ground and they're like, ow, what the hell was that? And Sasuke lands on his ass, but he's like, oh, sorry there. I hope that didn't hurt you. And the person is just like, no, I'm fine, but still, thank you. And Naruto's like, oh, it looks like there's a third out of the batch. Wonder what his problem is. Considering his eyes. Oh shit, that's the Byakugan. But is he trying to cover his forehead with something? Well, he hasn't really done it all that well. Why, do you think it would just be that easy for people to not notice? Hey, kid, whatever your name is, you do know still people could still probably notice that thing on your forehead there, right? And the person is just like, wait, what? It's still noticeable? Oh, damn. And, you know, Naruto would just be like, ah, Fuin Jutsu. And on my training on Fuin Jutsu, every time that specific marking comes up, it always comes up as Caged Bird Seal. The Caged Bird Curse Seal. They put on, the Hue members of the main branch put on those of that are not born of the main branch family of the Hyuga. I'm terribly sorry for what life must be like for you. And Neji's just like, not only do you know of the seal, and from the looks of it, pretty much everything about it, but from the way you're talking, it's almost like you have some sort of extensive knowledge over all Fuinjutsu that you've ever heard about before. And even though I'm a branch member, you still, you're so nice. And basically, Naruto's just like, why not? I mean, both of you guys look like you've gone through living hell. Which makes sense, the Uchiha Clan massacre, and, you know, H. Bird Seal cannot feel good on your, you know, mental capacity. Sorry if that offended you at all, Neji, considering the fact that the seal's on the forehead. And Neji's just like, yes, this person is Neji. And Neji just be like, no, not at all. In fact, the fact that you show any compassion towards me, even after knowing that I'm a branch member, and thus second best to that of the main family. And after hearing this, Sasuke just loses his shit. He's like, second best? Who the hell do your family think they are? They're not family, they're just keepers. Cage Bird Seal is right. They aren't your family. They're monsters. And Naruto kind of has to hold Sasuke back. Like, Sasuke's violence, at least not right now, won't solve anything. Not right now. And, well, going through the whole academy years, Naruto and Sasuke would actually become pretty good buddies. Like, pretty damn good buddies. And Naruto, like, bleh, bleh. And Ino and Sakura would just be like, what the fuck? What is this? Does not compute. Like, Sasuke, you know, doing the normal, just plain up ignoring them. And Naruto adopting the norm, like, that's Sasuke's norm, also ignoring them. Just plain up ignoring them because of how annoying they are. And, well, I'm gonna say that, well, whenever it comes the last day of the academy, it's a special test. It's first test is accuracy with a weapon. Sasuke does this whole little thing where he jumps in midair and spins, but unlike his normal idea that he was going to do, where he was going to spin while he was upright, Naruto decided he wanted to give him the idea to do a twirl so that he was spinning and throwing the shuriken while he was upside down, and then land on his feet still, like a badass, like pull one of those superhero landings off. And Sasuke actually does this, and gets let's say there was 12 shurikens that you had to throw, and Sasuke, he got 9 out of the 12. And on the kunais, it was still 12 that you had to throw, and he got 9 kunais. All straight in the center, with both the kunai and shuriken part of the weapons test. So the weapons test would, that thing was Sasuke. And Naruto, his whole thing, well, Naruto's kunai, he would actually say that Iruka didn't need to bring him any, or give him any, because he already had some kunai of his own. And, he would just lunge forward with his kunai, and they would be Naruto, Sakura and Ino would be Naruto, you idiot! It's throwing the weapon, not charging in with it. And then Naruto would just be Naruto would just jump up in the air, and as he was flying towards it, he would throw the kunai, and basically, once the kunai was just right about to hit the target, there would be a yellow flash, Naruto would disappear, and then the yellow flash would appear in another area, and basically, when everybody was no longer blind, they'd see that Naruto had reappeared along with his kunai, stabbing directly in the middle. So basically, he flash teleportation that shit. And actually, he did this several times, all in one go. Yeah, basically, he freaking just destroyed the damn weapons test. Because he did the same thing for the other weapon. He freaking flashed forward like Jotaro'd the weapon test. And, well, the next part is actually I have finally come to a decision. I was thinking while this is recording, and I finally made up my damn mind. I believe that in the anime and manga, Neji and his team are 1 year older than all the other rookie 9. If not, then my knowledge has betrayed me. But if this is true, then I am going to age Neji down considerably, enough to where he can also take the test. And as for the weapons part, well, Neji, dude has been training the hell, and so he would have already gained the Byakugan, and so he would have just freaking demolished that shit. Like, just demolished it. You would get the exact same amount of points that Sasuke got, considering both weapons, like shurikens and like kunais. And well, the next test is sparring, and the first spar will be Neji. Hmm. Oh, I think I know the perfect one to do. Because this rivalry was actually a thing that, could have happened before Lee in the Chunin exams decided to show us that, his hidden power of the, freaking lotus that blooms twice, apparently. Oh, bullshit. So, yeah. Basically, the spar will be, seeing as, like, all of Team Guy is aged down considerably, the spar will be Neji versus Lee. However, unlike, Canon and Neji, he won't be a dick whenever he wins. Because, yes, he will win. He will kick the absolute shit out of Rock Lee. He will beat him senseless. Without actually meaning to. He'd be like, okay, let's do this, buddy. like, let's do this. Byakugan. But as soon as he, like, turned the Byakugan on, like, clap on, clap off, shit, like, and Lee would go in, like, he would just get tossed, get yeeted across the damn thing, and fall out of bounds. You just get yeeted like rotation. Yes, Neji is basically going to have poor man's version of the 8 trigrams rotation at this point, but he never shown it to any member of, like, the branch or the main family. He's never shown any of the techniques that he's been working on. And that was actually advice that Naruto gave him, and that Sasuke, after a while, started to, back Naruto up with. Like, he was even giving Neji advice to not show any of the clan that he was developing skills like a mad lad. Because, they were all going to show, they were all going to be badasses and show them. So basically it's like the poor man's, like, dollar store ass version of the 8 trigrams rotation. And it just knocks Lee out of bounds. Sends this poor sucker flying. However, Neji doesn't exactly seem to feel too good about it. That is until, 10-10 is like, man, Neji, you're always moping. You ever have any fun in your life? And Neji just gives her a look like, does it look like I've ever had any fun in my life, woman? He just gives her that look. And automatically 10-10 knows to back the frick off. Like, Neji is on some serious shit. Like, he's always on some serious shit. But this time he's on some holy mackerel like, serious serial shit. He didn't really want to injure Lee that badly the way that he did. And, well, basically the next spar, like, Neji would actually, he was going to go back into the classroom because he felt bad, but that's whenever he hears that the names for the second spar are Naruto Uzumaki, like, but instead of just Naruto Uzumaki, it's Naruto Namikaze Uzumaki. However, instead of, like, telling everyone that Naruto, oh, it's the Demon Fox, well, Danzo still does that, but he does something even worse as well. He doesn't tell anyone about the fact that Naruto is a Namikaze, so they still treat him like shit. So, yeah. Basically, that just happens like Naruto and Sasuke. And all the fangirls just, they have their whole, they have their whole thing. And Neji's like, he will never understand why they like him so much whenever he doesn't even give half a shit about them. Like, he doesn't look up, like, down on Sasuke for it because he knows why, like, he, acts the way that he does. And actually kind of supports the behavior. And, well, Neji actually does indeed stay outside, if only to get a up close and personal look at his two buddies, his only two friends, only two people that he feels are his real friends, duke it out, see who's stronger, and then maybe whoever beat who could, like, fight Neji, seeing as he won his spar, and then they'd be able to tell who was the strongest out of the three of them. However, something happens. As Naruto and, Sasuke are doing the whole thing with, like, their fingers, like the something something sign, I forget the name. And then they, like, back away from each other right before Iruka's like, Hajime! Like, and then they just go straight in. Like, right as that is about to happen, like, they get into, like, one of those WWE grapple clashes, and, they kind of backflip off of each other, and then jump up in the air. And, well, Naruto kind of does, like, a barrel roll straight into Sasuke, and then just, like, throws him, like, right as they hit the ground. So basically, Naruto automatically gets up and grabs Sasuke, throws him, and Sasuke, yet again, now is flying through the air. And, Sasuke has to stop himself using his arms, and Sasuke realizes that something's off about Naruto. That something's off about him. And then Naruto would whisper something to Sasuke. Something about, Sasuke, please, help me we need to both do it at the same time. We need to both forfeit so that we can get to the bottom of this. I know that sounds completely contradictory to what you're actually looking to accomplish, becoming a ninja, but I need help. Please, Sasuke. We can help faster this way. If you just find a way to... And Sasuke's like, why don't you give up? Stop acting, Naruto. I know you're not this weak. Besides, you're the one who's been throwing me around. And Naruto's like, that's the problem. I didn't mean to do that last part. Whenever we were racing through the air, and I chucked you like that, I didn't mean to do that. My body acted on its own. Didn't you realize the aura that popped up whenever my body... I did that? And Sasuke's like, she's right. There was a type of secretly weird chakra that came out of nowhere whenever he flung me across the stage, across the arena. Naruto, are you telling me that something is messing with you? Naruto, Naruto, talk to me, speak to me. And then Sasuke begins to realize that Naruto, his eyes are beginning to basically lose all color. Like, and, Naruto, he doesn't really bulk up, but there is definitely muscle in there. It's just in the form of raw power. It's basically what Broly is. He's just raw power, like, sculpted in the form of muscle. Like, it's like an imitation of what muscle is supposed to be. And Sasuke is realizing this, and he's realizing something is morphing, like mixing and morphing around, like his friend, and it looks and sounds like it's even hurting him. Yet Iruka's doing nothing, just stop the match. It's almost like they don't even notice this. That's until Neji has to point it out to people that Naruto is hurt. And whenever Iruka, basically has just been trying to, pay attention to the students so that nobody's, like, doing anything stupid, he's been looking back at, like, the matches from time to time, but he's mostly trying to make sure nobody does something stupid. So he hasn't had much time to really look at all the fighting that's going on. Basically, Sasuke and Neji both try to explain to Iruka what the hell is going on, the best what they know. And basically, in all the frustration, Sasuke cries out because there's this pain in his heart. He doesn't want Naruto to end up like the others. All of his family, all of his friends. And Neji can see this, and Neji's like, Sasuke, please, we can't have you like this if we want to save Naruto. We need both of us to be at our best if we're to help him. And then Naruto would just be like, what do you mean? I feel perfectly fine. I feel... I feel... invincible. You're the one I was sparring with? Well then, let's make it a game. My favorite game. Sudden death. Zera! And basically just a giant green ball like blasts through Naruto's hand and shoot towards Neji and Sasuke. And this is a point whenever Sasuke would finally be under so much stress that he would reawaken his Sharingan, because he'd awakened it whenever Sasuke had put him under the Genjutsu, but now he's finally reawakened it again, and he's staring at Naruto with the one Tomoe Sharingan. And whenever Naruto sees this, he becomes enraged. He says, Uchiha? And basically Sasuke's like, what the hell? What's gotten into Naruto? And then Sasuke realizes the green aura from what he's seeing from his Sharingan eyes, that's not chakra. And, well, he's like, Neji, try focusing with your Byakugan. And Neji's like, okay, wait. Shit, you're right, Sasuke. That is not chakra. How are we supposed to save Naruto? Basically, Sasuke's like, I think there's only one way how. We have to break through his mind. All the way into his heart. If we can get to him and find the Naruto we know is inside, we can have that Naruto back. It's not too late. At least I don't think it is. He's just now started to transform into whatever this is. This pupilless green aura beast. And Neji would be like, right, let's do this. And, well, eventually they would come up with a way to, distract Naruto from everybody else. It would be Neji. I was about to say Nezu. Neji acting as a distraction. And hey, Mizuki would even use this as a distraction. This whole pandemonium as a distraction to steal a scroll of sealing straight from under everyone's noses. But, this kind of pisses Naruto off. Like, whenever Sasuke and Neji are just about to get to him, and then he hears something about Mizuki. Basically, he used the entire pandemonium of Naruto's attack to basically steal a scroll of sealing from all of Konoha's noses. And now Naruto feels like shit, even more than he already, did before he got his friends. And this just, it pisses him off. And he's just like, and he would basically, sort of, appear in front of Mizuki, grab the scroll of sealing, and before Mizuki could even do anything, the blast, the giant Omega Blaster thing, would just vaporize him. And it would vaporize a good portion of that shack that Mizuki would have been using as a hideout. and a good portion of that entire forest. And well, Naruto would just be like, I really do all of that? And Neji'd be like, yes, Naruto, you did. But you also got rid of a traitor of the leaf and secured the scroll of sealing back to it. And Sasuke's like, I think this is just might be me, but I think that's warranting of giving the guy a headband. Plus, you know how Naruto is with shadow clones? And Naruto would actually say, actually, it almost felt like as long as the green aura was around me, I could learn while I fought. And, well, what does it say here in this scroll? Shadow Clone Jutsu. I see. With my big reserves, this is gonna be perfect. It's like the clone jutsu, but not. And basically, Iruku would be like, uh, how? And Naruto would just be like, Shadow Clone Jutsu! And like 10 Narutos, like 30 Narutos actually, would just pop up out of nowhere. And Iruku's like, oh, I see what he meant by big chakra reserves. And, well, I think this is finally where I'm going to end off this part 1 with, everything. How long's it gonna do? This is the Dark Star Maverick is LUT out here. Boys, like, favorite, subscribe. Click that little bell. Yeet, 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 and all the yeet. And I'm a bounce like it's Quidditch, and I don't even really care that I did that in reverse. I guess that's just what happens sometimes whenever you're making YouTube content. Sometimes you just mess up that kind of important shit like your outro. Well, shit. Bye.